Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com, and today we're going to talk about how to take care of your elbows when you're benching. The first thing we're going to want to do when it comes to elbow care is to get some blood pumping into that joint during the warm-up. So before you even hit the bench, making sure we pump that elbow joint up, get a lot of blood flow to that area. And this should be part of your warm-up process. So all I'm going to do for this is take this mini band here, and I would typically go with band work. It's not going to stress the joint in that stretched position there. You're going to be able to comfortably pump up right near that elbow without having this undue stress in that vulnerable position. So I always try to use bands when we're doing this type of thing. I'm going to put this mini band somewhere on the power rack, and all we're going to do is some tricep push downs, and then we can come from the ground up too and do some curls. And we're going to do some high reps. We're going to do reps of 20 plus. So whether you do 20, 30, even 40, you know, whatever feels good for you to get a good pumped up effect in the elbow, that's what we're going for. So I'll hook this up here, and I'll just start doing some push downs. And I'm really trying to squeeze right at that bottom position, and that's really where I'm focusing on. I don't need to go through a huge range. I'm not trying to train my triceps here. All I'm doing is trying to pump up near that elbow joint, get some blood flow to that area. All right, that's going to make benching feel a lot better, especially if I have some nagging discomfort going on. And then likewise, you could just stand on the band. I'm just gonna do some curls. And I'll just do some hammer style. I'll supinate a little bit, but again, just trying to pump up that area. We're gonna do really high reps. Light band, high reps. Again, get that blood flow to the area. All right, after I got the elbows good and pumped up there, I'm going to use this compression band. Now, you can play around with whether you like to start off your warm using this, or you like to pump up first and then use this. I like to typically use this after already getting some blood flow into that joint. But this compression band, especially if you have any nagging discomfort in your elbow around your forearm, this is going to help a ton, because it's going to squeeze on that joint, and compression is going to allow everything to kind of breathe in there. And we're also, once we take that compression band off, all that blood flow is going to go right to that area because it was restricted. Now all that blood flow is rushing in. It's going to bring all those nutrients for recovery and whatnot as well. So I'm going to show you how to use one of these. So you can do the elbow yourself. Shoulder's a little bit more tricky. I'm going to roll up my sleeves for this one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start below the elbow, and getting that first wrap's a little tricky. Again, if you have someone to do this for you, it's going to make everything so much easier. But since we can do this solo, I'm going to make it work. All right, so again, I'm not overdoing it. This isn't a knee wrap, right? I'm not trying to kill my elbow here. I just want some compression. All right, and you'll be able to kind of feel that out over time, your tolerance to the compression. See, I'm just going around the elbow so far, and I'll just go a little above and below it. You know, I don't need to waste more space than I need. I'm just going to go a little above and below the elbow, and then I am going to just tuck it in here, and then I have the wrap on. And this just by itself is going to be great, right? It's restricting some blood flow now. It kind of feels like those compression cuffs you wear to test the blood pressure, right? I got that compression going on now. Feel a little heartbeat. It's restricting that blood flow. And then when I take this off, all that blood's going to rush in there. So we already pumped up this area. Now we're adding some compression. This is going to feel really good in the joint, especially if you have some nasty discomforts going on here, some tightness, some angry elbow as I call it. All right, so get this on, go through some range of motion, go through your bench motion. All right, this is going to be great for allowing you to do some pain-free movement. And then after a little while, you could leave this on for a minute. Less compression you have, the longer usually you can keep this on. But again, you'll kind of see all that blood rush into the area. It gets a lot redder now, because we got that blood flow going to the area. So that would be the next step, guys. Use a compression band. At this point, our elbow is feeling pumped up, juicy, ready to bench heavy. All right, we have that joint lubricated, ready to go. We're warm. What we're gonna do next is add elbow sleeves into the mix. Elbow sleeves are gonna be great for any type of elbow discomfort, just keeping your elbow feeling healthy, injury-free. We're already feeling warm and ready to go. This is gonna help keep that warmth in the joint. This is also going to help add additional compression to the joint. So some of the things we just worked on doing, getting that elbow joint lubricated and warmed up, this is going to help encapsulate that heat, especially if you train in a colder environment. You don't want that elbow joint getting cold. You're going to feel every bit of that force going through the elbow. It's going to help keep you warm. Also, compression. We just talked about using the compression band and how great that is for something such as the elbow joint, in which you have all those tendons and everything running through. You get something tight and gnarly, can cause a lot of discomfort. This is going to help add a little bit of compression. Now, you don't want anything overkill. You want a good neoprene elbow sleeves. Call me biased, but we make Big Benchas elbow sleeves. You can get them bigbenchas.com. These Big Bench and elbow sleeves are excellent. They're neoprene. They're not going to aid you too much in the lift, but they're going to do their job when it comes to keeping the elbow supported, warm, and feeling good to go. So you can get these bigbenchas.com, but what we're going to want to do next is simply throw on a good pair of elbow sleeves to bench with. So now it's time to hit the bench, and the most important thing with keeping your elbows feeling good while you're benching is that you stay in a good position. If your hands are so close here that you end up putting yourself in this handcuffed position in the bottom, my elbows are actually just about outside my wrists. All right, I'm going to put a lot of undue stress not only on the elbows but also on my shoulders. This isn't really how we're going to want to bench in order to keep ourselves injury-free long term. We want to be in a good stacked position in the bottom. So that means assuming a grip in which our elbows are going to be directly underneath our wrists in that bottom position. So for me, that would be about pinky on the ring, and that's typically the case for most people, but obviously it's going to differ depending on limb lengths, your structure, and whatnot. That may be a good stack position for me, but something that can also help alleviate elbow pain is taking a slightly wider grip. Or if I take the widest legal grip, you'll see that my wrists actually end up a little outside my elbows. With this wider grip, it's just typical that you're not going to put as much stress on that elbow joint. All right, unlike when you're close grip, you're not traveling as big a range of motion. So typically that'll help your elbow feel a bit better in terms of performance in the bench press. So that's just a little tip, but regardless, you want to stay stacked, all right, in your positioning. That way you're going to get good force transfer right through to the bar. If you take a really close grip, you end up kind of handcuffing yourself and putting yourself in a poor position. That's the real key here when we're determining positioning, grip width on the bench press. Put yourself in a position where you're not going to do any undue stress to your elbow joint. Now we're good, we're pumped up, we're ready to bench heavy. Let's get after it. Coach Ben here, and you know where to find me. You can meet me on a bench. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to learn more about how to increase your bench press, consider joining us in our Better Benching Academy. To learn more, simply click the link down below in the description box or visit bigbenchas.com/BB Academy. I'll see you there.